Janet Buff, and I want to talk to you about my cancer journey that began in 2010. I wasn't feeling very well in April. I was having some intestinal issues, and it just didn't seem to go away. And so about in September, around my birthday, I decided that I was going to go get a colonoscopy because something just wasn't right still for that long time. And it was probably a couple of days before Halloween. And I went in, got a colonoscopy. They said that there was something there. And so I had to get another colonoscopy. And when I came out of my station, I found out I had stage 2 rectal cancer. And the first thing I thought about was my kids. I don't want my kids to be without a mother. So what you do when you're a Christian, you pray. You pray like you've never prayed before. And when Dave and I were on our way home, I really didn't have anything I just didn't know what to think, but I said the first thing I want to do is I want to get on the prayer chain. I want to get on the prayer list. And what we did, I found out on October 31st that I had the cancer. In November, the doctors gave me radiation. I don't remember how many weeks it was, but it seemed like it was forever. And then after that, from the end of November to the end of December, I was on chemo. They gave me a chemo bag. My date to get the cancer removed was February 14th. When the doctors realized that it was February 14th, they said, "Are you sure you want to do this on Valentine's Day?" And I said, "Yes, I do, because this is God's love letter to me. He's going to help me get rid of cancer on that day." So that day, I was cancer-free. I was really out of it, though, because of all the drugs that I was under during the operation. I had to heal a little bit, and then I had to wear an ostomy bag for 4 months, from March until June. During that time, I was getting pretty sick. I was on chemo. The ostomy bag it fills up with liquids, and I'm not trying to be gross or anything, but it fills up with your liquids because that's while your rectum is healing, you have to have an ostomy bag. During this whole journey, I was starting to get sick and throwing up. I couldn't keep anything down. And I started not being able to see very well. And so I thought maybe my glass prescription was wrong. But it wasn't. Something was off. I kept telling my doctors something's off. I kept telling Dave something's off, something's not right. During this whole time, I kept claiming my scriptures. God kept giving me the scripture, Isaiah 41:13, "For I, the Lord your God, will hold you right hand, saying to you, fear not, I will help you." And also, he kept leading me to the scripture on 41:10, "You are my servant. I have chosen you and have not cast you away. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." And I was claiming those promises, just kept claiming them. I kept having weird dreams, and one Wednesday evening, I was falling into despair. I was feeling panicked. I was having terrible satanic thoughts. Satan was really attacking me, and so I told my husband, I need to go to the hospital. Let's go to the emergency room. There is something definitely wrong. And so we went, and we explained that I had an ostomy bag, that I just had cancer. I was cancer-free, but I was healing from rectal surgery, and that there was something wrong, though. And the doctor just looked at us and said, and I told him that I was throwing up uncontrollably, couldn't keep anything down. The doctor wanted to send me to a psychiatrist, told me there was nothing wrong with me. It was all in my head. So that night we came home. My husband and I got into a little bit of a tizzy because he said, honey, you're throwing up. And the doctor said there's nothing wrong. And I said, well, I know there's something wrong. So the next day I had to go in to my oncology doctor to get my blood drawn. I had to have my blood drawn probably, I think, every day that week. Every day I had to have my blood drawn. It was Thursday morning, 9 o'clock. Went into the oncology doctor, got my blood drawn. Went home. An hour later, he called me and he told me, Janet, pack your suitcase, go to the emergency room. You've got to go to the ICU. You have low sodium level. That's what's causing all this to happen to you. So I was in ICU for about 7 days with a drip, building up my levels back up, my sodium levels. But between the time that I had the ostomy bag, being in bed, I was not able to really focus and really function very well. When I would get out of the bed, I couldn't even walk 2 steps over to my dresser without being out of breath. My husband had to get me a wheelchair and start wheeling me around. And so after the drip was done, I had to go. I got out of ICU, went into the regular room. I had to learn how to walk again. Still, I hung on to my promises that He was gonna heal me. And on July the 5th, I was able to get the ostomy bag off. And then what they did was they wanted me to start 4 rounds of chemo, the very hard chemo. After the first one, there was something wrong. I was starting to tingle. I was starting to burn. I couldn't swallow very well. My skin was burning. And then I calmed down a little bit. In the second round of chemo, I looked at my skin. I looked in the mirror at my face. My kids weren't around too much. I didn't let them really notice. I didn't call attention to myself so that they would notice what was going on with their mother. But I looked in the mirror and I didn't even recognize myself because my face was burning. I looked at my hands. My hands were burning. I called the doctor and I said, there's something definitely wrong. I am not going to take this chemo anymore. It's burning me. My daughter Robin called me and I told her, Robin, I'm not going to take the chemo anymore. And she cried and she says, Mom, I want you to get better. And I said, Robin, this chemo is killing me. It's actually killing me. So we went and talked to the oncologist. He gave me a very expensive test and found out that I was one in, I believe he said, 100,000 people who cannot take this chemo. And so we decided that I would quit the chemo. And that's when I really started to heal. I started feeling better. I was able to start walking. My eyesight was getting better. And one thing I do want to say, that all throughout this journey, God gave me words that were very encouraging through His Word. I kept the Bible in the hospital. I kept it beside me. I wasn't watching baseball, which I loved so much. I didn't care about any of that. I couldn't eat. I just wanted the Word to be my food. And he reminded me, and he taught me, that he was using my suffering and my pain to build character in me and to make me strong in my faith. And I've had people ask me, and I had other cancer patients say, you know, well, Janet, didn't you ever say, why you? And the cancer patients that I saw, they would say, why me, why me? And you know what I said to them? Why not me? Why not me? You know, God loved me so much that he wanted me to grow closer to him by allowing me to be sick, really sick, because he wasn't done with me yet. He wasn't done with my journey here on earth. And I'm very thankful for that. I am very thankful. And it's been 9 years that I'm cancer-free, 9 years, February 14th. And yearly I go get my colonoscopies and my mammograms. I take care of myself. And I'm stronger and I'm happier. And I just want to share all this with you, that if you get cancer, it's not the end of the world, that just keep your eyes on Christ. And this thing that we're going through right now with the virus, it hasn't bothered me because I know that God is in control. So thank you for listening.